What's up, everybody? I'm back with another episode of the Keep Going podcast. Today's guest is Mitch Gibson. He's the owner of Gibson Custom Guns. He has been a U.S. PSA shooter for over 15 years and has shot 3-gun and other disciplines as well. He runs a practical rifle match once a month at the OKC Gun Club and is a director for the U.S. PSA and Steel Challenge matches. After years of flourishing in the medical field, he chose to move away from that stressed environment that was making his health decline and turned from a dead man walking into a true athlete. Since then, he's flourished, following his passions, pouring into others, and just living life with intention. We get to discuss his story, how he made that transition, what it's like competing, what it's like coaching, building guns, and much more. And I even got to have a range day with him. So you can't ask for much more. Mitch, I appreciate your time. He's a wealth of knowledge, and I can't wait for you all to enjoy this episode. As always, keep going. Yeah, they're really easy. When I did it with Lou, we were at the gun range, and we shot for about 2 hours, and then we walked over underneath a pavilion. Mm-hmm. I wish I would have been recording at that time because the scene was crazy. Yeah. Because there was no one there, and it was kind of foggy, but not really raining, but a little misty. Sure. And out there by Route 66, you're kind of out looking towards Chandler and stuff. Yeah. So you see just like the rolling hills. Yeah. It was really cool.
It's a nice area. It's a really nice area.
And it's a really cool gun range.
It is. It's the Disney World. I call it the Disney Club of gun ranges.
I'm sure you've had experience with a bunch of crappy ones.
I have. Well, or just all. I mean, I've been to most of the bigger ones around the country. Not all. Like, I haven't been to any really big ones up north or northwest. Like everything kind of has its pros and cons, but OKC Gun Club is like a full square mile, which is quite large, 640 acres. Wow. And it has a little bit of everything that you would want to do, which is cool. Most really big gun clubs have like one or two specialties. So like the highest concentration of Grandmaster and Master level US PSA shooters is in Mesa, Arizona. And their home range is called Rio Salado. And Rio Salado, the backstop is a mountain. Oh, wow. Pretty cool, right? But so for me, it's been like the mecca of shooting for since I started doing this. And went there and not that impressed.
Really?
Yeah. They've got a lot of bays. Like you've seen the bays at the gun club. But not a whole lot else. They've got a really good sporting clays range, which is where you kind of walk through some trails with a shotgun and you have clays come from different directions and you shoot them. And it's that's one of the biggest kind of shooting sports games in the world. But I was shocked at how otherwise blasé it was.
What do you think are the benefits of the gun club here that you like so much?
The variety and the different ranges. So where you're at the pistol range, there are a lot of bays that you can use, and you can host a relatively big competition. Like the cowboy action shooting guys have a little cow town there. Did you see that?
I didn't. Oh, really? I went straight to where we were going.
So if you went south of where you were at with Lou, there is an actual cow town built kind of in a line.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just two sides of a street. Most of it's on one side. And those buildings are wrapped in bays. But they have a national championship there that's about, 2.5 weeks long. I usually have 850-something competitors come.
And for that, they have to have time-related weapons and things? So revolvers and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. And they have to wear cowboy outfits, and you have to pick a cowboy name.
Did you ever do it?
I almost did.
What was your cowboy name going to be?
I didn't pick one. All the good ones you would want are gone, right?
Right, they have
Jesse
to be.
James or Billy the Kid or whatever.
Or like Doc Holliday or something. Those are gone.
Yeah, right, long gone. So when I was getting into competition shooting, I found out about this. It's called SASS, right? Single Action Shooting Society.
And that's the cowboy stuff.
That's the cowboy stuff. And
single action.
Oh, you can run around with guns and shoot things. This is incredible because I had just been going to ranges where you can at a static firing line just shoot down range. And that's only fun for so long. Like this, it is only interesting like a little bit. If you go, you might be able to get 2 or 3 hours, 3 hours probably at the most of an interesting time. But probably after about an hour, you're kind of like ready to roll. And because honestly, shooting's real fast. Like every gunshot is 0.05 seconds. So like, a lot of gunshots kill a lot of time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And then if you're just standing in one spot, you could get bored. And I would imagine too, when you know nothing, then that time seems longer. But as you progress and you get your reps, you're probably like, all right, what's next?
Right, because you're not like in the newbie mode of like, I'm unboxing my gun and putting the bullets in, and it's all so slow. And now I do it fast. I don't have to think about it. I don't even have to look at my magazine when I'm putting bullets in. I can just have conversations with people, look around. You know what I mean?
After shooting with Lou, he was like, I bet you'll order these. What are they, like easy loaders?
Yeah, Lula loader.
He was like, I bet you want one of these now, huh? And I was like, yeah, because this sucks.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Like, my thumbs were raw because I don't do a lot of shooting. So I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see the variety there because even though there were people there shooting, besides hearing it, you're not bothered by anybody.
No, and that's the beauty of being at a club. So I was, there's a local shooting forum called Oklahoma Shooters Association, which still exists. And, but this was like before social media kind of dominated how people find out about things and get their information from each other, So, there was a post about Single Action Shooting Society, and I was on there and thought, wow, you can run around with guns and shoot? That's incredible. I'm going to do that, because I've always been someone who likes to do risky and dangerous things. And so, just, it's fun. And I don't mind taking risks. So,
you only get one life.
Right. You only get one life, right? So you can run around with the guns and shoot them. Incredible. Let's go do this, Hopefully it's safe, right?
Right.
But then it was like, you need to get like a cowboy style gun belt that holds a single action revolver, which is like what you would see in cowboy movies where they thumb the hammer back and then pull the trigger. And those are cool. They're hot. They're probably the most beautiful guns in the grand scheme of things because they're super classic and they just look great. Like there's a great inherent sort of like fundamental design. But then you had to get like a lever action rifle,
like a 30-30.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess anything, but I think of the 30-30.
Yeah, that's the classic thing. The cowboys are always looking to shoot like with as little recoil as possible. So they usually get like a 38 special and then download the rounds to where they're like barely making it out the gun.
Oh.
Yeah, that way they can...
For the revolver.
For the revolver, for the rifle, and even for their shotgun. And the shotgun would be like a break action, like a double barrel shotgun. Because
you want the least recoil so they can be as accurate and fast?
For speed. I'm talking like, I reload, right? So I make my own ammo. And they would be doing that as well. So if you're doing that, you're in control of how much gunpowder goes in the case. That makes sense. So you can boot less and less and have a less and less recoil. But you have to have an amount to like run a gun, like a semi-auto pistol needs an amount to like move the slide back and then feed another round. So you can only go so low. But on a cowboy gun where there's nothing moving, all it has to do is make it out the end of the barrel.
Wow.
Right?
I didn't think of that.
So you can hold your gun on a target like a single action. What they'll usually do is hold it with their finger on the trigger and just thumb the hammer back and let it go. Right? And so they're not really pulling the trigger. They're just ching, 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 ching. And with the lever action rifle, they typically do a version of the same thing where as soon as the lever comes back, they kind of time where they hold their finger so that they pull the trigger as soon as the lever comes back.
That's why they're moving so fast on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not practical at all. Like if you were shooting the kind of ammo you would buy at a store, you would never do that. You'd be all over the place with your gun, So in any case, you had to buy these extra guns. You had to pick a cowboy name, wear cowboy attire. And I just thought, God, I really don't want to do that. Just
seems a lot extra
stuff. It does. And the whole cowboy name really like stuck me because I'd already bought the revolver. I already bought the gun belt, and I was like shopping for the other two guns. And then on this same forum, somebody posted about like an action shooting. It was like what do we call it? Like an outlaw match. So it doesn't fall under a body of rules necessarily, but it's similar to a sport. So I shoot USPSA all the time. Okay.
And that's what I see you and Lou on the video shooting. Right.
Yeah. And so somebody posts about this style of thing, and I think, oh my God, I don't have to buy all this cowboy stuff and special attire and then pick a cowboy name, which is going to be impossible, right? Because I have to be like old bloke or something that nobody would.
You have to make something.
It's insane. It's insane, right? So, quit my path there entirely, right? Like I'm done. I'm not going down this path at all, and I've never revisited it since. Never will, really. And then fell into USPSA.
When was that you fell into that?
2011.
Okay,
spring.
So a good amount of time.
Yeah. 15 years ago. Maybe.
When you started, was it mainly just pistol, or was it multiple guns, or?
My first match was a handgun match, and I think my first two, and then I found out about something called 3-gun.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Right. So that is modern weapons, pistol, rifle, shotgun, but you don't have to wear a special outfit, and you don't have to pick a name. And
you have to carry all three throughout the competition or throughout the round?
No. Typically on a stage, you'll start with one and then work your way to another. So you kind of might advance across a path or something along those lines where you're shooting only, say, pistol targets. And then there'll be a dump box where you put your pistol on safe, dump it, and then pick up, say, your rifle, shoot rifle targets, and then drop your rifle into a barrel, put it on safe, put it in a barrel. Because, it's a long, big gun, right? And then pick up a shotgun and then start doing the shotgun targets.
Interesting.
So, yeah. So 3-gun matches typically have a mix of the stuff on the stages. You usually don't use all 3 guns on a stage, but sometimes you do.
Okay.
But it's always one of those things where you use one, dump it, go to the next one, and so on and so forth. So I really got into that pretty heavily, probably for 2 years. And then 3-gun, there was a TV show called 3-Gun Nation that was honestly really popular. And a lot of people that didn't even shoot guns would watch it, because they, I feel like, had maybe the editing of the video really done well.
Keeps you locked in.
Right, for sure. Because I was shocked that people that weren't out doing it were like telling me, like at work, like, oh yeah, I've seen that, I heard that, I watch that every week or whatever. It's like, oh man, that's crazy. Because as a person that does it, when you watch other people shoot, if it's not like your friend or like you're one of your first time seeing a pro shooter, it gets boring so fast.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you critiquing or are you just bored?
Just bored. So I think if you're at the match and you're, doing it in real life, at the matches you've got squads. So your matches, say, 8 bays or 6 bays that are a 3-sided berm kind of thing, where you have 180 degrees of shooting that you can engage in. And you're with a squad the whole time, so you kind of go from one to the other. You complete this one, go to the next one, and so on and so forth.
That squad is your team or no?
It's not really a team. It's just like the people that you're with, because you need someone to run the timer.
For that round. Someone
to record score. Yeah, someone to pace targets. You need a group of people to make it run efficiently. And because, honestly, you're out there for probably 6 hours to shoot.
But you're still all against each other.
2.5 minutes. You're all against
But everyone's doing their part.
Yeah, so you're just like with a group that goes through the thing together.
That makes sense.
Right. So if you're there to compete, you'll also watch the people in your squad, and, that's okay. And sometimes it's great if, like, it's your friend or someone that, maybe not your friend, but there's like, wow, they did really good on that, that's cool. But if you just go and watch, like if I'm on, all the popular social media, and man, I won't watch people shooting videos unless
I know what you mean.
I know them and they're going to be good, or I know of them and they're going to be good. But it needs to be the shooting as well. So if there's like a backing track, so on like an Instagram, you can almost always pick audio to put over your clips or whatever. Boy, if someone puts a song over their shooting, I won't watch it at all.
Yeah, because you want to hear
You do.
The mechanicals.
You do. You want to hear the tempo of the shots. You want to hear them.
I like when I hear Lou breathing.
Yeah, right. Or grunting as they start to take off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like that POV or whatever.
Sure.
Really.
Right.
Because I want to hear that.
Right.
Like I heard him one where he was like, he did a grunt and then missed one, but you heard him kind of like verbally correct it.
Yes.
Like,
right.
And then bing, bing. And I'm like, oh, I like that more.
Right. Right. And a lot of shooters do that. And I think that's a lot more interesting than just kind of like either, if someone's truly great at shooting, watching them, and if they don't have any like on the clock commentary, I always have some commentary if something's going wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've screwed something up, I'm like, ah!
I think the commentary is the best in anything. Like I know we're talking about shooting, but whether it's any type of sport or activity.
Yeah.
Like I told you I do rock climbing and things, and my wife was climbing a really hard boulder and she was kind of grunting as she was doing it, and like people were getting more and more locked in to see like, will she finish?
Right.
Because she's trying hard.
Right.
And it's like that type of stuff for some reason for us humans is like, oh, they're really focused.
Yeah.
Because if someone's just like dead quiet, if they were like And you can't even hear them breathe. That's weird.
Yeah, for sure. Or, if they're messing up and they, I don't know. It's more interesting if they start making commentary, quite frankly.
Instead of just like shut down. That wouldn't be
cool.
Right.
Or getting frustrated. Yeah, nobody wants to hear that. You know what I mean? Like,
but it's funny.
We can all be frustrated while washing dishes.
Well, I could just picture you going and then like something messing up and you're like, oh, fuck. Yeah. And then you keep going like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And I do that not too often anymore, but probably once a match or something.
Well, yeah, you're a veteran now. You're 15 years in.
Yeah, right.
Did you have instant success when you got into it?
No. In fact, I'm the worst person that ever started that I've still yet seen to this day at shooting.
At starting?
Yeah.
Like your baseline when you started
my baseline was so far back.
Well, you'll see me on Sunday. We'll change that up.
Sure. Yeah. I doubt it. So the average match is about 160 to 180 rounds over the whole thing. In my first match, I shot 330. And that probably doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but honestly, it's an enormous deal. Like it's...
that means you missed half the shots you took, right?
Just about, yeah. Okay. But it was actually very difficult. The matches... my first match that I went to out at the gun club had all the steel, had a lot of small plates and small targets that I was not prepared for.
And that was pistol?
Pistol, yeah.
Were you nervous getting ready for your first competition? Because any new activity, when it gets real, it's kind of nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I would say I was, but I didn't really care because I knew this is what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Had
you practiced a lot before? Or did you just start and you're like, I'm doing it now?
Oh, no. I had shot at a static range, shooting a variety of guns. I've never really practiced a lot with one gun. I didn't have any idea what to do either. And that was, pre-social media, there wasn't that information. Like you would have to go to one of these things and find out what to do, find out that there were actually books you could buy, which seems like crazy because shooting is honestly pretty simple. But there are a lot of books about it now. You know what I mean? Every pro shooter almost, it seems like, it's not really true, but we'll put up training courses and whatnot, but a few write books. And there's a handful, I guess, of folks that have written books. But just the kind of stuff that you wouldn't know about unless you just kind of crashed into it in life. Mm-hmm. You know, I just like happenstance or whatever.
And you crashed into it more.
Yeah.
You just engulfed yourself.
Yeah, but wasn't like a good shooter. But I didn't really grow up shooting either. So I didn't buy a gun until I was 23. Like my parents aren't anti-gun people, but they're not gun people. So we didn't have guns. We didn't do shooting. We didn't really do anything outdoorsy, quite frankly.
Does that mean you didn't have a lot of bad habits to start, though? Because you didn't, have to get re-taught something?
Yeah, once I started learning. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. But I didn't know what to do initially in terms of it's obvious that you can hold a gun a certain way and put the magazine into it relatively easy versus doing something like this or anything, that's kind of it.
Well, even you and Lou talking about having your finger on it so you have a base point to
Yes, for sure. Yeah, aim it
to feel it in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you.
I wasn't doing that at first.
I didn't know anything. He's like, yeah, put your finger so you can feel it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But that's when time matters.
It does.
Because if you're just out there shooting, you drop the clip, you reload, put it back in, look back at your static target. It's very calm.
Yeah.
But when time is everything.
Right. For sure. For sure. So I didn't get into it until much later. So probably 28. So I got a gun when I was 23. It wasn't a good gun.
Do you still have it?
No.
Oh.
No, I sold it to my brother. He sold it to one of his friends. And who knows where it's at now. It was a Smith & Wesson Sigma series, which they actually got in trouble for producing. They got sued by Glock. It was essentially a Glock copy.
Oh, okay.
When the Glock's patent hadn't expired yet, and they lost $3 million or something. So it was a bad deal. It's a bad deal.
What was your career like early on then, once you started to get success? Was that first one since you didn't do good, then you locked into practice or?
Yeah. Going to the matches and kind of seeing how people did things, I thought, I should practice my draw and my reloads for sure, because your first thing you do is draw the gun. That needs to be fast. And then when you're at the end of that, your sights need to be lined up. This was before dots were on guns, so everything was iron sights, except for open guns, which are a different animal altogether. But everybody was really shooting iron sights. And so I knew that I'd need to work on my draw and my reloads. So you run
and is that the dry fire at home?
Yes,
and you're just
right.
working?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you're really going to get successful, you need to dry fire every kind of thing you would be doing during a stage. So it's not just the draw and at some point doing a reload, but it's the target transitions, moving from spot to spot. All these things you need to practice. So getting down low while moving, that's a hard thing for me to do as like a tall, skinny guy.
What's the benefits of getting low to center of gravity with the aiming, or?
You will sort of shock absorb recoil better, and then you're more stable when you're moving around. So if you move and shoot. So if you're starting to move and shoot, if you've got your knees bent and your nose over toes, like your shoulders over your hips forward, like you're in a fight or something.
Yeah, then athletic stance.
An athletic stance, right. So you want to be in that kind of position, because the way to win is to go as fast as possible. And if you can shoot things while you're walking or moving or kind of not quite running, but
but you're cutting
hustling, doing a little
seconds
sprint. Yeah, you just cut off a whole ton of time. So all that stuff, and I didn't really figure that out for probably 4 years, like all the things that you need to do. And then I was doing it every morning at 5 a.m. because you can get locked in. Like if you're...
Oh, I know.
Right? Practicing something. So I was doing it at night after my kids went to bed. And then I start at 9 o'clock. And then I look up and it's 1 a.m. and I'm like, oh no, I got to get up and go to work at 6, So that, I'll get up at 5 and then do it, and then I'll have to stop.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I only get 30 minutes,
right.
Whatever it is.
This is 30 minutes. It needs to be good 30 minutes.
I get what you're saying, though, because when I went to shoot with my military friend I told you about, he was like, all right, man, go get a belt, a real belt, and go get a real holster.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So when I met Lou at the gun range, I had a belt and I had a holster. And even that, it seems so simple to say that out loud, but even that was a game changer. Because I could actually pull a gun. Yes. Without it like getting snagged on my pants or things like that. So,
or just being a terrible thing to draw from. I started out with, I bought a police officer in Edmonds old duty gun.
So that's like leather, right?
And a leather holster and leather mag pouches, which you would never do that or even recommend anyone do that these days. But I just thought, well, a cop used it, must be good. Wow, not good, quite frankly. And they've all moved on. Like police forces are all using like thermomolded plastic stuff that's easy to draw from but has good retention and stuff. But at that time, it wasn't like that.
And that's more like Kydex style or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kydex or similar. So, but yeah. And so just that kind of thing that retains it enough. With the police, they usually have like different interlocking mechanisms built into the same holster so they can hit a lever and it'll unlock it to where you can get the gun out.
So someone can just yank it off.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't walk up to a cop and just grab the grip of their gun and yank it out. You can't do that. You know what I mean? Like it's got a lever positioned where their hand would be, they can hit it, and you would not necessarily be able to do that.
At that 4-year mark, that's when you started to get your groove. How many competitions do you think you did in that 4 years before you started to get it, per se?
Man, a whole bunch. I don't know.
Like over 100?
No, but probably close, maybe 80, something like that.
So many reps.
It is.
Wow.
It is.
That's thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds.
Yeah, but by that time, I really stopped doing 3 guns, so I was just doing USPSA, which is handgun only. And
with that, you keep the same pistol throughout. You don't even switch pistols?
Right, correct. Okay. Yeah. So you just get into a division. So there's divisions for certain styles of gun. So if you went, like the most popular gun in the world is a Glock. Okay. Most people have Glocks that own guns. And if you don't, 80 people that do. It's just how it is. Whether or not you know their name. Everyone around you has
Everyone has a Glock.
Everyone has a Glock. It's a great gun. It's a great gun. It's not the most dominant handgun in the world because it's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? It's a very good gun. So if, it fits into, at the time, a division called Production, the best, which is set up for people to just go buy a gun, buy the magazines, belt holster, mag pouches, and then rock and roll.
Okay.
Nothing racy about it. So there are race gun divisions where you can do a lot more fancy stuff, like cut lightning holes in the slide where the slide's mass is lowered so it moves faster in and out of battery.
Wow.
It makes your shooting potentially faster. Like if everything you're doing is correct, then your shooting will just be faster and more accurate because the gun is then less disturbed. And then open division is like an unlimited amount of modifications. That's where you've got guns with like a compensator on it and holes in the barrel where when you fire a gun, it recoils, right? Mm-hmm. You get pushed back like this. With an open gun, you've got a compensator and usually some vent holes in the barrel, ports, what they call them nowadays, that when you fire, now it's venting gas up. So as the gun is pushing up, the gas is pushing it down, so it stays really flat. And ideally, it doesn't move at all.
Wow. If you're doing your things correctly.
Right. But it also requires that you load really hot ammo, if that makes sense.
Hot meaning a lot of gunpowder?
A lot of gunpowder.
Okay.
Very high velocity. And not ammo that you would put in any other gun either, because it would just destroy it, right? Just kind of detonate the barrel.
Okay.
But an open gun is a much stronger gun, and so now you're running like way high overpressure. Your bullets come in a lot faster as well. An impractical kind of thing to walk around with if you were going to be like on duty or like in the military or something.
But for competition style, that's what you need.
Yeah. For like at the highest level of shooting, that's what everybody shoots is an open gun.
That's why you see those shooting competitions like in the Olympics, and they have crazy looking guns.
Yes, right.
Makes sense.
Yeah, like the more advantage.
Yeah.
The closer you are to winning.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Do you have any cool stories about when you started to get your groove, like when you really killed it one competition, or like when you noticed it was starting to become real?
Man, probably when I first started shooting production, which is a division where you go to the store and buy any gun and just go out and shoot. It's called that because most guns are produced in large numbers in factories, right? Mm-hmm. Not like what people would think. It's not like guns are pumped out by the millions per day, and it's very low compared to like what people would think about like cups or something,
right,
or sporks or whatever. And so, but you'd go get one, and so I had been shooting a division called Limited, and I was doing okay. But then I thought, if I shot production, I'd have to focus on my accuracy more. I'd have to focus on my reloads more. Everything just has to be better because your scores are about 20% less in points versus the other division I was shooting in. Okay, because of what's called power factor. And so everything was much more critical, so I was that much more focused. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And so then it started taking off, right? Okay. And so I started shooting better and better and better. And then it was very competitive at, or at least the state level. And
what was the production gun you had?
Man, I started out with a police trade-in Glock 22. It's a 40 caliber gun, which really is going away.
Yeah.
So I was doing what's called loading. I've been manufacturing my own ammo for a good long time at that point because it's the only way to get a lot of rounds economically. Because the cost is way, way down when you do that, but also you control the recoil impulse.
Like you said, yeah.
Instead of like whatever gunpowder a factory uses, you pick a real fast burning powder and put it in, use less powder. You get the same amount of power, but the recoil impulse is much shorter because of the way that the pressure wave works with that fast burning powder. So in any case, I was just shooting 40 minor, which at this point in time would be absolutely foolish to do. In 2026. So, but that was cool. And so then I bought a Glock 34, which Glock introduced just for competitive shooting a long time ago. And it was really cool, shooting 9mm. And then the CZ style guns really started to rage in terms of becoming popularity. CZ is a company. It's a Czech company. Okay. Česká Zabroska, I think it is. And they've got a gun model called the CZ75 they came out with in 1975. Much like a 1911 came out in 1911, right? So the CZ75 is a steel gun. It's a double-action, single-action gun. So the trigger on it is way forward initially, and the hammer is down. When you pull the trigger, it cocks the hammer and lets it down on the first shot. So you pull the trigger all the way through a real long pull, heavy pull, compared to the single-action shots, and it'll run the hammer back. And at the end of your trigger pull, it slaps down, shoots, cycles the gun, and then all the rest of your shots are in single action at that point, where your trigger pull is real short and real light.
Right.
Okay. So those guns were really becoming super popular. This probably would have been 2015 or so. And then there's an Italian clone called the Tanfoglio, Stock 2, or Stock and Stock 3. For some reason they call them Stock, and it's probably some kind of stupid language thing. You know what I mean? Stock's a bad name for a gun, right?
Yeah, it's like that's not how it translated.
Right, yeah. Right. If you called your motorcycle like, this is Motorbike 1, nobody wants to hear that. Yeah. Right? You want to hear something cool.
Yeah. You want to hear CZ, like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
CZ75.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so so I ended up going from the Glock to the Tanfoglio, Stock 2. And
that's 9mm as well.
9mm as well. Really liked it quite a bit, but it was really becoming a really popular gun. And I was practicing the most with that. And it was actually something that was kind of imperative because it was hard to reload. The magazine well design on those has at the end of it, like at the bottom where you put the mag in, it's this chute that comes down at an angle like normal, and then it goes to a right angle like this.
So you have to like purposely.
Well, you still push it in this way, but what you're looking at is a completely different angle. It's one of the worst product designs probably that there's ever been on anything, because you want to stick it in that way because that's how the opening looks like. And so I must have done like 30,000 mag changes before I got to where I threw it in the correct.
Because if not, you're just hitting the wall kind of.
Yeah, you're just going to stub in and then go. It's very slow, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be slow in a race. So, but beyond that, the rest of the gun was really good. Easy to do trigger jobs on.
Trigger job, making it lighter.
Making it lighter and smoother.
What's the opposite? Lighter and firmer? Or what terms would you use? Hotter and less, or what would you say?
Just heavier.
Heavier or lighter?
Heavier.
Okay.
Versus lighter, yeah.
And lighter so you can pull faster when you're going through targets.
Well, so that you don't disturb the sights. So when you're
you don't
shooting,
want it to move.
right, like a heavy trigger pull will give you the propensity to sort of like dip the gun down, and oftentimes the opposite of your dominant hand. So a right-handed person will tend to dip the gun down and then to the left, where a left-handed person would dip the gun down and to the right.
Yes. Okay.
So the lighter it is, the less that's a problem. It doesn't really matter once you get to a certain skill level to where every time you trigger a shot, like I can shoot any trigger really well now that I'm so far in. But like at the beginning, that was pretty critical. You know what I mean? It's like every advantage should be taken, as long as it's within the rules.
Yeah.
So this stock 2 was great. It was a fun thing to shoot. Really irritating having to learn how to do the mag.
30,000 mag reloads is crazy to hear.
Right. Yeah. But if you think about that, you wouldn't have timed this. I've timed it, right? So I used to practice trying to get my reloads in 0.8 seconds. All right. So that's from having the gun mounted, which you're gripping the gun and you're pointing it out. It's called mounting the gun. So from there to hitting the button, grabbing the mag, this one is now clear of the mag, putting this one in and getting back on target. 0.8. All that in 0.8.
That's so insane.
It is.
How cool, though.
It is. It's very cool.
You feel like, I don't know, some super spy or something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, right.
Like I'm trying to mimic that, and that's even probably the same speed. Like just
all that stuff. Well, you practice enough, and then what I was doing was using our shot timers. So when we were at these competitions, you have a device called a shot timer. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the world except at these matches, or we're police training. Military is starting to use them because it's pressure, and pressure is good for you if you want to be fast or get good, or say become good under pressure. Like say if you were on the police force, it would be great for you to shoot USPSA because you're under pressure, the pressure of time. So then now if you need to engage a criminal who's trying to kill you with your gun,
you're
used
faster
to being under the pressure. You have grace under pressure. You're fast, you know what I mean? Well developed, and you can just go versus getting, taken out.
It's like the cowboy stuff you were talking about, not the shooting style, but just taking it back and then them doing the paces and drawing.
Yeah, for sure.
The people that do it all the time are going to be so much faster.
Yeah, 100%.
And military-wise, it would help with their precision. Well, anybody with their precision.
Yeah.
Faster is more precise.
Yeah. And that's true. That's a good point. Like when you're using the shot timer, you get used to being accurate very, very quickly, as quickly as you can. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what's funny is if I go to the bench rest range at the gun club, which is a kind of a long line of benches, and what the idea is that you sit there at this bench and you shoot the most accurate groups that you can. And I go there.
Inaccurate?
Most accurate.
Oh, sorry.
You shoot the most accurate groups that you can. And for like sighting and hunting rifles, or just trying to shoot as well as you can for a competition, or just because you want to do well, as a shooter. So I'll go out there, and most people are shooting around, waiting, I don't know, 30 seconds or a minute. And I just go and shoot a 5-round group as fast as I can see the sights land back where they are. And sometimes I feel like people might be thinking I'm just mag dumping or something.
Oh,
maybe not showing off, but just like I'm probably not hitting anything.
Yeah, they don't know or he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right, exactly. But then I go out and look at the target, and I've got this little dinky group, 200 yards or 100 yards or whatever.
Well, you said something there that's important because I remember Lou talking to me about it. It's like as soon as it lands back, and I know you're not wanting to go too far up side to side or anything anyway.
Yeah.
But like as soon as it reacquires pull, reacquire pull, and that was a game changer that day. I mean, we started about this far.
Yeah.
He was like, we're going to start here.
Yeah.
And my group was still messed up.
Sure.
He's like, all right. And then by the end of the day, you're 15 feet back with a tighter group. So
right.
It makes sense what you're saying.
Right.
It's like that precision where it's fast on the mag reload, but then fast on the target acquisition.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, if you think about it in terms of efficiency, it doesn't make sense to like wait any longer than you need to.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. 100%.
I mean, why would you do that?
I know, especially in the competition style, because I think sometimes, and I kind of figure it to like archery because I shoot archery sometimes.
Cool.
When you feel it, you feel it.
Yeah.
Like, even with the gun too, but like once you're on target, you're on target. Like, because with the bow, you're trying to stay so stable. Mm-hmm. So if you're on the target and you wait, then it starts. Then you're moving. Right. It's like you found it, hit it, find it. Right. So that makes sense. I get it.
Yeah, for sure. It works that way with everything you shoot. Mm-hmm. Like I've got a really cool precision rifle, and it's kind of the same way. Like if it's time to shoot, it's time to shoot, because the longer you wait, usually with precision rifles, you're using a scope and looking at something pretty far away.
How far do you think?
Oh, I mean, I could shoot 600 or 1,000 yards.
Fast?
Yeah, 600 for sure. At 1,000, not that slow.
That's crazy that they time you at 600 yards.
Yeah.
So are you moving or are you sitting in target acquiring?
You're prone. You're laying down behind your rifle on the ground with the bipod. Well, it's just the accuracy at that point. That's not like part of a race.
Timed and then how close your group is.
Yeah, sure.
So you're not moving targets.
Sure, right. Yeah.
Okay, that makes it. That's still crazy.
Right, but I was going to get to like the vision. So if you're aiming and you're looking for precision, typically, because you're looking through a scope, you'll close your non-dominant eye, right? But when you do that, it puts a lot of strain on your dominant eye. And so the longer you dick around aligning things up, the more your eye gets tired, your vision will degrade and blur. So like, it's just the same as racing with a handgun. Like it needs to be as quick as possible.
And then if you blink, you lose it. And you're like, oh.
Right, for sure. And then, but if your eye does get tired, and now you're like, okay, blink both your eyes, go back to it, and.
Is that, when you're in competition, do you close one eye?
I don't.
Yeah, you keep both open, right?
Yeah.
There's a benefit to that, correct?
Yeah, because if you close one eye, you lose essentially half your vision, your peripheral and all that stuff. And
it could move you to a side also, right? Or no?
No, not really.
Okay.
When you get used to shooting handguns quite a bit, or a rifle with like a red dot optic, so if it's non-magnified, you would just have two eyes open. But let's go back to handguns. If you say brought a gun up and you had iron sights on it, your dominant eye will kind of focus on that, and then your other eye is really just peripheral vision and binocular vision for what's downrange.
Okay.
So looking at the target. It's interesting what happens with vision when you shoot a whole lot. Like your eye muscles get real strong and you start seeing things you could never see before, stuff like that. But having two eyes open is critical in racing for target transitions. So if I were, say, going to shoot that little black bottle over there, I'd shoot it, right? And then as my gun is in recoil, transition my eyes to this glass bottle here. And so I'm looking at it while my gun is now landing on it, and I shoot when my sights get to that.
Eye first,
always, yeah. So, and if you're on a wide transition, like if I was looking past your shoulder over here, and then there's something 90 degrees to me, I would eyes, head, gun, shoot. And
then as soon as that gun lines up, you're there.
Yeah. For sure.
That makes sense.
For sure. And so that it's as fast and efficient as possible, if that makes sense, right? I mean, everything needs to be together in terms of your skill level at that point, to where wherever you look and then point the gun, the sights are lined up. That's a big thing in terms of mastering shooting at speed, is that every time you aim at something different, the sights are already lined up. And what you're doing with your vision is just confirming that they're where they're supposed to be.
Okay.
Right? Like I wouldn't say look at that circle up on the wall there with my sights, and then look over here and then confirm my sights yet, or, like need to align them ideally. Like it would just be like, boom, boom, right? And I just look as soon as I'm breaking the shot that the sights were where they need to be. And it's a lot faster to do that. So like say they're not, and I cook off a miss, well, just when recoil's over, then I'll shoot the spot I was trying to shoot the first time.
That makes sense.
Right?
So like on the eye first, that's really what's the most important. Obviously, you should look where you're shooting, but the finding it is more important than like, let me make the gun find it, because then you're going to be like kind of struggling.
Yeah, you look at the spot you want to shoot, and ideally, like once you get to a high level, you look at where your bullet hole is going to be. Does that make sense?
Wow.
If you had
it doesn't to me.
Yeah, right. But if like this was a target and you want to shoot it, well, I mean, anywhere on here you'll hit it, right? But you want to shoot it like say dead in the center. Well, you look right there. You don't look here. You don't look in this general area. You look right there. Like that's where I want.
Is that where they say that aim small, miss small?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and it makes the most sense. And it's actually helpful when you're out practicing too, to go ahead and like if you're shooting groups, maybe don't be so concerned about where your shot is. Like shoot a shot at the target. Like ideally you want it to be perfect, right? But if it's not, just aim at that bullet hole and then try to send shots through the same hole.
Are you graded by what area of the steel you hit?
On steel, no, but on paper, yes.
Okay, so on paper it's like, oh, well, you shot high left, not dead center. Different point.
So there's scoring zones. So in the middle, there's an A zone, which is worth 5 points. Outside of that, there's a C zone, which is worth 4 points in major and 3 in minor. And then outside that, there's a D zone, which is worth 2 in major and 1 in minor.
So that's where the accuracy and the timing, you got to find that balance.
Yeah.
Like don't just be fast hitting all the targets because you may get 2 points every time.
Right, yeah. If you get 2 deltas and you're thinking, trying to be competitive, say that you're going to be in the top 10 at a match or something, you start shooting deltas, you're not going to be in the top 10.
It's where that person may be like a second slower than you, but they hit all 5s.
For sure, yeah. Right, because if you think about you don't know about this, but like the match is ranked in points per second. Mm-hmm. So whoever accrues the fastest points per second is the match winner, and then their score is used to set the 100% for the match, and then everybody else is a percentage of that going down the list.
Okay.
But it's points per second. So if you could say shoot 2 A zone hits, that's 10 points in a second. Well, you've got 10 points per second. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And so in a stage, like a good moderate hit factor stage, it's called hit factor, is points per second.
Okay.
That's what we call it. Would be, say, 5 to 6 hit factor. So it's 5 to 6 points per second. So that's from the time you get a beep to start your run to drawing your gun and getting it out and moving through the stage and blah, blah, blah. All that stuff that you're doing, you're still, despite the fact that you say, shoot these targets here, now you're going to run over here. That's going to eat up time, right? Say that's like eats up 3 seconds. Well, the amount of points you can accumulate when you're shooting will make up that time, right? And so if you can get 6 or 7 points per second on average, it's probably pretty good. And then you'd be crushing it with like say 9 or 10 or more points per second.
Okay, makes sense.
Depending on the stage or whatever. But that's how it's ranked.
You mean the competition? Or the stage is like the actual like course?
So it's one part of it. So it's a coursifier in the competition. So a competition will typically be 6 stages.
And the stages would be basically like where I was at with Lou that had one...
Is a bay.
A bay.
Yeah.
It would be one bay.
Yeah.
Here's your 6 targets.
Yeah.
That's one. And then move to the next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But typically you'd have, say, about 15 targets.
Wow.
And then a path to move through, and then walls up, vision barriers and things like that. Maybe some ports. A port is like a hole in a wall. So we put these walls up that are, they're not opaque. They're covered in like a net, because you can't really like risk not seeing someone downrange or the next guy starts shooting, right? That'd be disastrous.
You're right, especially at high speeds.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So the walls are always covered in like construction net, like that orange construction net you see at construction sites.
Yeah.
So like big holes through it, right? You see right through it. So
but
it's a vision barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can't see your targets to shoot typically very well, but it's enough that it's a vision barrier, and you have to navigate that visually. So you'll set up sort of like fault lines, which is like an area, like a shooting area. Be at some portion of the area to start. Someone will beep you with the shot timer, and then that shot timer is it's like a stopwatch, starts counting like a stopwatch, and then it puts timestamps for every gunshot. And so your last gunshot is the last timestamp on the timer, and then that's your overall stage time. So when that happens, then you go around and score the targets. You go, so 2 Alpha here is 10 points. Alpha Charlie there would be 8 points for minor and 9 points for major. There's major and minor power factors for the difficulty of shooting the gun based on how much power your bullet has.
So if you are fast and you have a high-powered gun, you get more points?
You do, yeah. Oh. Yeah, 20% on average.
Because somebody might use like a 22 or something, and it's like so light.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, that's the idea. But the minimum is 9mm.
Right.
So 9mm scores as minor because it's not that powerful. Like, it's the number 1 cartridge in the world by far. In 2026, it's the absolute most dominant cartridge that people shoot everywhere in the world, not just the United States. You know, everybody in the military shoots that in their handguns. All police departments pretty much now have moved back to 9mm.
But you don't think it's a strong round?
You don't want to get shot with anything.
Okay.
And getting shot with 2 of 9mm is worse than getting shot with 1 of 40, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, but if someone was shooting that same competition with a 45, they're getting more points.
They are, for sure. Okay. 45 or a 40, or an open gun that's shooting like 9 major or a 38 super comp or something.
9 major means a 9mm that you packed a lot.
You put a lot of powder in it. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And it just, the thing, we measure power factor and like the bullet weight times the bullet velocity. So there's a device called chronograph.
Okay.
Lou has one. I have one. Everybody that shoots like seriously a lot has a chronograph, and it's a device you shoot bullets over, and it'll tell you how fast they're going. And so you use that to determine if you're making like the power factor you need for your division or whatever. So
right. Like, this is too powerful, or this isn't fast enough.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And being too powerful, no big deal. But if you're not getting points for that extra violence and recoil, then get rid of it. Right. So if you're the minimum power factor for 9mm is 125, which would be about 124 grain projectile going 1,050 feet per second. But, say if it's going less than that, you might need to bump your power charge up. And if it's going way more than that, then you might need to bring it down.
Okay. And that's where reloading your own ammo makes the most sense.
It does, because you really gain control of the recoil impulse.
You're like, this is 97.6.
Yes.
Like, you can get real precise.
Right, exactly. You can. And, whatever suits you, if you're not competing and you reload, you could reload to save money because you make an ammo for about half the cost of what it would be to buy. But it's also going to be more accurate, usually better quality control, and lower recoil.
So as far as the competition shooting, then you got into it just on your own?
I did.
But you got Lou into it?
I did, yeah.
How did that come about?
So on that forum I was talking about earlier, OSA, he was on there and posted a thread asking about, does anybody know where I can get someone to put new sights on my M&P? He was shooting a Smith & Wesson M&P at the time. And
loser. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't have any idea.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Man, if only he was shooting a piece of shit gun, that'd be so much funnier.
Oh, that's a really good gun?
It's an okay gun.
Okay.
Yeah, the new ones are great. The first generation ones that he started out with, not very accurate in the grand scheme of things. Okay. Otherwise really good.
Forgive me.
Hilarious though. Yeah. No, but but I knew that if you went to a gun store or a range that had a gunsmithing counter, you're as likely to have them fuck your gun up as to do it right.
Right.
More likely, probably. Maybe even to get the sights on, but they might be dented and dinged, or they may have marred the finish on your gun. There's almost nothing but horror stories about gunsmithing at local businesses, quite frankly. That's not their dedicated specialty.
And they're hourly. They don't give a damn.
Right, yeah. And it's not good hourly, right?
Right. They're
terrible.
I don't care about your gun.
It should be way higher than it is. It's crazy how bad it is. Because it's you could just go fucking get a job at Taco Bueno. You know what I mean?
Gosh. No, I definitely understand.
It's insane. So, but I messaged him. I was like, if you want to just bring it over to my house, I know you don't know who I am, but I'll put your sights on. I won't screw your gun up. You know what I mean? Just doing a solid to some stranger that I don't want them to go get their gun fucked up. You know what I mean?
How long have you been shooting at this time?
Man, not very long. Probably a year. Not very long.
Wow.
But I've always been
But
good
that
with
learning curve
mechanics.
is crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, but I fixed things for a living too for a long time.
Right.
And
You understood it.
yeah, for sure. No big deal. And so he came over, and I just blabbered about USPSA. I'm sure the whole time while we were there, taking his old sights off, putting the new sights on, and lining them up and all that stuff. And by the end of the work, he was ready to shoot a USPSA match.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
You all both got me fired up, and I don't shoot at all.
Sure.
So I get it.
Yeah, it's super fun. Once you start into it, it's I don't know. I mean, you ride a motorcycle. It's like just as fun.
It's just exhilaration.
Just exhilarating and fun. Yeah.
And like we said earlier with tennis and all those other things, just the attention to detail.
Sure.
It's addicting.
Right. Yeah.
How long, or what was the process after that? You're like, okay, you want to do it, come with me to this tournament to see how it goes, or just enter one?
No, I had him come to one at the gun club. Yeah, which was cool. Cool for him. Not that awesome for me, actually.
You didn't perform well.
No, I didn't even really get to shoot the match. So we had this stage, the first stage we were on, we have this prop at the gun club that everybody hates. It's a barrel on a swivel. So if you think about like a tripod like your device is on there, tripod, a swiveling pole, and then a barrel with no ends, right? Mm-hmm. So this stage, you started holding the barrel and you had to turn it and then draw your gun and shoot through it, shoot some targets through it, then move on to the rest of the stage. So this is our first stage. This is his first USPSA match ever, right? So I'm up shooting before him. I turn the barrel while drawing my gun, and I'm too close to the barrel, so I bring my gun up. We're all shooting iron sights back then because optics hadn't existed that were good enough to put on a slide. My front sight catches the lip of the barrel, and my hand keeps going, so I cook a shot off under the barrel, which is a negligent discharge, accidental discharge, right? Nobody's hurt or anything, but
it doesn't look good.
No, but you also get disqualified for doing stuff like that. Mm. And so
just once.
Well, it's from the match, so you can come back like the next time. You just don't get to shoot the rest of that match.
Oh, boom, done.
Yeah, right.
Damn.
Right. So my first shot of the day at his first match that I talked him into coming to, DQ'd.
You just shot one in the ground. It's like
yeah, and it was probably like 5 or 6 feet ahead of us. You know what I mean? But
yeah, not an unsafe thing, but just like instantly losing.
Just an accident.
It's terrible.
Right. But that's like why people hate that prop. You know what I mean? Like I'm not the only one that's done that. And sometimes they use it for rifle stuff, where if you get into it with your rifle and your rifle's in the barrel and your head's in the barrel and you shoot, the concussion vibrates everything in your head. It'll make your eyes shake. It's insane.
It sounds terrible.
It's a bad prop. It's a real bad prop.
Just the inhaling of all those fumes off the gun in a barrel.
Yeah, that's not
as bad.
Good.
Oh, okay.
But it's not as bad as you think. If you limit it, it's not that bad. If you do it all the time, pretty bad.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah. But in any case, that's kind of how that went.
I'm glad
that he shot well the rest of the day.
So that first one, he competed?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he just came to watch it.
No. We don't, as a community, don't actually suggest people come watch because it's just too boring. It really is. Like, spectating is really boring if you're watching people shoot. Like, that's what I said. Like, if I'm at a match, I'll watch my squad mates shoot. I won't watch, if we're walking from one end of the range to another and we walk by a bunch of bays where people are shooting, I don't even look down the bay. Like, I
don't care.
I'd rather be talking to my friend. Yeah, it's not that I don't care. It's just not going to be interesting. Mm-hmm. It's not a spectator sport, and that's why it's not on TV.
Okay. Yeah, you would think it would be though. You think it'd be captivating.
It seems like it should be. As a first-person thing, incredible. Some of the most fun you can have. Probably the most fun you can have with your clothes on, other than like skydiving, riding a motorcycle really fast. You know what I mean? Yeah. Those are awesome. But otherwise, man. It's not that much.
What was the process then of him doing it? Like he just has to come up and say, "Hey, I want to try." You don't have to have any type of requirements.
No.
Wow. Yeah. So if people have went out there and sucked really bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Everybody starts out poorly generally.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. It's like anything.
Yeah. Right.
But you just say you want to sign up and they check your equipment and you're good.
I mean, usually you just sign up and it's like an honor system on whether or not your equipment is okay.
Wow, cool.
But if you're inexperienced, you'll typically, be telling everyone around you, like, "Hey, this is my first match," say that, and then people will kind of help you along. We do a safety meeting at the gun club at our match every single time we have a match. Every time. So we have 3 a month. one that's USPSA, one that's Steel Challenge, and then I run a practical rifle match where it's not
you run
handguns.
it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's all rifle. It's super fun. It's like USPSA with rifles. So
you're still going through all the targets fast?
Yes, but with like real rifles.
What do you shoot?
I've got a bunch of rifles.
Which one do you like to shoot?
I like to shoot the most my FAL, which is
okay.
A rifle developed in 1953 that is it's a semi-automatic 308 rifle.
So it's pretty strong.
It's very strong.
But it's like an old Camaro that you souped up.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Similar to that, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. But I mean, most rifle designs are actually pretty old. Like the AR-15 was developed in the late 1950s. Most people don't know that.
Right.
Like, oh, it's a modern rifle. Like, I mean, 1957 is modern, sure. AK-47, 1947.
Is there a reason why you shoot a 308?
I just like it. That's my favorite gun, is the FAL. But a lot of the times I've shot an AK or AR-15. I've got a PTR 91, which is a clone of something called the HKG3. It's a roller delay blowback 308. So it doesn't actually have a gas system like almost all rifles do. They're semi-auto. And it has rollers that keep the bolt locked. And then when gas pressure gets down enough, just before the bullet exits the barrel, they unlock and the bolt cycles. It's pretty cool.
Do you get points for like shooting a 308 versus an AR-15, just like the pistols?
Yeah, okay. You get twice as many points, actually.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you want a shorter barrel or a longer barrel for that competition?
Man.
Because I have an AR-15 and it's like a shorter barrel.
Yeah, shorter barrel, like a handier is probably nicer. Longer isn't going to do anything for you in terms of like competition.
Because you may hit something like trying to move, right? Like you may hit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's less wieldy. Like I shot an M1 Garand, which is the rifle that the Americans used in World War II at the last match, like last weekend. And dude, that thing is a boat oar. You know what I mean? It's a boat oar. So I'm like trying to dodge a fence and I'm like pulling this gun way back, running back farther than I normally would, and then going in. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a super long rifle. It's super long. And we're like an AR-15, like a small one, maybe about like, right? Cut a couple foot off of it almost.
Mine's only like, it can almost fit in a little duffel bag.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Yeah, so nice and handy and wieldy. So, but at the practical rifle match, like I said, at the gun club, the matches we have out there, we have a safety meeting, like a new shooter meeting every match, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is nice.
Right. So if you're a shooter in Oklahoma getting into shooting and you go to the OKC Gun Club, which is really the only reasonable place to go, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Right. There's a range up in Stillwater that does matches. Also, I can't think of anything else that's not like Tulsa at this point. But
what a way to be
at OKC Gun Club. But it's nice because we have a new shooter meeting. People come. We talk about what they need to do, how to do things safely, answer any questions. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, like to kind of take the pressure off of those people trying something new with a deadly weapon.
Right, exactly.
Like let's teach them the basics. That's really cool.
Well, safe gun handling, I wouldn't say is like the most, I don't want to say common sense thing, but it's just not normal. Like guns aren't normal. It's not like picking up a stick.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's they're dangerous, they're loud, and people in their lives oftentimes, if they're not proficient with shooting and competing, don't really have safe gun handling. Just how it is. I wasn't very particularly safe with guns before I started doing this, and now I'm like the safest guy. You know what I mean?
And people don't even want to be around them sometimes.
Sure, yeah.
Like my wife has guns and we shoot periodically, and I want to bring her around you and Lou, so it's not me saying anything, because one, I don't know anything, but two, she's learning from someone that's a professional and can show her. Because she's like, I don't want to mess with it. And I'm like, yeah, but it's empty and you need to know how to reload it, like if you ever need to reload it. Yeah. So that's where someone like yourself or Lou comes into play, and I'm not just for my wife, but for anybody, to kind of break down the barriers. Yeah. Teach you the safety and
for sure.
the way to utilize it.
Right, yeah. It's good, and you're in a country where you're free to have them and shoot them, and it's actually really good. I didn't really think about the gun being a defensive tool as seriously as I did until you have to join the gun club, you have to be an NRA member. You don't really have to maintain the membership, I don't think, because they don't check on it, but you have to join at least for a year or whatever. And so you do that. If you do that, you get a magazine choice. There's like 3 magazines they have, but the one I was getting, the first sort of, I don't want to call it a column, but kind of what a column is like, where you've got a header and then the journalism below it or whatever. Mm-hmm. It was actually a bunch of news snippets. And so every month they compile news snippets from around the country, from other newspapers or publications, and it's all about defensive shooting. And man, there are people in the best neighborhoods and the worst neighborhoods 100% of the time having to defend themselves. And like, you read that enough months in a row and you just think, I should just be armed all the time. And maybe not, carrying a rifle around a grocery store, but man, dude, the likelihood that you would need to shoot someone is unbelievably low. But you don't want to be that one that wasn't prepared and got nuked. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but how frequent it is, just in general. And this is just them probably compiling the ones they can find. You know what I mean? There's probably a lot more happening that people don't talk about.
Yeah.
So in any case, it's good to know how to do, even if you don't like run around and shoot guns for fun. Like, being proficient is going to be so much better if you need to use it than A, getting killed, right, because you don't know how to use it, or B, like, shooting through your fucking wall and hitting your kid because you're so bad at shooting. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it does, like you said, I love that you said that. You don't have to be a competition shooter, but you should know how to make a fire. You should know how to cook outside. Like, right. You should know how to shoot a gun. Like, yeah. There's these little skills that you can just learn, not necessarily once, but right. Just add it to your repertoire of life.
Sure.
Just, okay, yeah. And maybe it's not just pistols, but maybe I know how to shoot a rifle. So if I am hunting, and there's sure. all these little steps. So yeah. I definitely think it's just like, man, woman, whoever, it's just like something to add to your mental inventory, right. Of skill sets. You should have those.
You should. Yeah, and it's just in your best interest, and the more you kind of deal with it, the more normal it is. Mm-hmm. So, when I first started, like, I got before we got constitutional carry, I had a concealed carry license. And I didn't really even carry a gun for a long time because I was like, oh, I should do this. But then it's like kind of a pain. You have to remember to take it with you all the time. It's weird because now you have this, 3-pound metal weight on your body all the time that isn't normal. You know what I mean? There's nothing normal about guns in the terms of like being a human going through the world, right? We would be walking around with like a sword, if you needed to, a long time ago, right? Or a stick, or just, fucking fisticuffs all the time or whatever.
Yeah. And the constitutional carry came in Oklahoma when?
A few years back. I don't remember.
Yeah, I didn't think it was
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you can just carry a gun wherever you want to, whenever you want to. As long as it's not forbidden, like you can't take it into like a courthouse or a federal building or whatever.
Or like a Chick-fil-A.
No, you can. Sure you can. Yeah. But just about anywhere else, it's fine.
Right.
But you don't need a permit anymore. Like, now you can just carry a gun whenever you want to.
Why do you think that was something that came about? If the concealed carry was always such a big deal. Like, do you have your concealed carry? Do you have your concealed carry?
Just in line with the Constitution, I think. Just to make it easier, lower the barrier to entry, It's kind of bullshit if you need to, like, you have the right to do this, right, in the law of the land. But, your state says, well, if you really actually want to carry, you need to get a permit. Well, if you're going to go get this permit, when I did it, it was, I had to get passport photos, do fingerprinting at one of the sheriff's offices, fill out a form, make a payment, all this crap. And all, just to do something that you're allowed to do.
Doesn't really make sense.
By the Constitution.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if you had to do fingerprints and submit pictures in order to go out and say something.
Doesn't really mean freedom of speech.
Doesn't really mean freedom of speech, right?
Correct.
It's just one of those things, just sense. Like giving you the freedom that you were born with. And, but I mean, it's good that you don't have to go through this rigmarole also because, it kind of opened up the floodgates on whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? So like some people have like a truck gun where we keep a rifle loaded in your truck. And this is not really a city thing, but like say if you're on the far out suburbs or live in the country, it would make a lot of sense to you for you to have a rifle all the time in case you need to shoot a coyote or a wolf or a mountain lion. Mountain lions they just saw one on someone's infrared camera in the city this last fall.
Here?
Yeah.
What?
A mountain lion in Oklahoma City, North OKC. Insane, right? You know what happens if a mountain lion comes for you?
I mean,
you lose.
And
you lose.
Yeah, and hopefully some of those people with a rifle in their truck could even hit it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they might just freeze.
Right. For sure.
Gosh.
But,
that's crazy.
Or pest control or whatever, wild pigs are a pestilence upon the land. Right?
Or an unmarked van, like pulling up on you and trying to get you out of the car.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
What's the best?
You never know what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
You never know.
Right. And so, but the constitutional carry kind of allows all that, right? You don't have these weird things like you've had in the past, like, if you were transporting a rifle, you'd have to have like an ammunition in a separate compartment and blah, 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 blah. All this stuff, honestly, I do that whenever I go to the range anyway. But if I were like living in the country and I had a truck gun, I would have it loaded all the time, right?
Yeah, because when the moment happens that you need it.
Right.
So I have a friend in the military that I grew up with.
Yeah.
He was actually he's one that got me reignited into shooting. His name's, this is so funny. I've always known him as Peanut. I don't think I know his real name. I think it's Christopher.
Sure. Okay.
I really do, but it's funny. We've never called him that. I've known him since I was 11. Hilarious. But he was telling me that because we were riding motorcycles one time and we had pistols. And he was like, "Is it hot?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Then why do you even have it?"
Yeah.
He's like, "It's in a holster. What are you going to do if something happens? You're going to grab it, load it? Yeah. Like, what are you doing?" And I was like, you only know that from people that, A, do competition style, that have a lot of experience with guns, or 2, people that have like had to use them. Yeah. And he was in the military for a long time and had to use them. Yeah. So it's like those little things, like a truck gun.
Sure.
If you're going to be in the country with a gun in your truck, then you would want it to be loaded. So when you have to grab it, it's usable.
Right.
So definitely agree.
Yeah. Yeah. And in terms of like carrying, like, say, a pistol with a round in the chamber, it doesn't take that long to grab it and rack it. But, one of the things, like, my brother and I tried out one time, there's, the deal is if someone's within 21 feet of you, unless you're incredibly well practiced, you would not be able to get a gun out before they're on you, if they ran at you.
Wow.
From a dead stop, right?
21 feet.
21 feet. That's 7 yards.
Far. Yeah.
Yeah. But so, like, say twice the distance of this room, if you had a knife and you were coming at me, I couldn't. I mean, now I might be able to do it, but like at that time, like, I couldn't get a gun out before you were like stabbing me.
Yeah.
And a knife is way more dangerous than a gun. They make guns look like staplers. Like, a knife is a tremendously dangerous weapon. And so then now, say if you were carrying a gun and you didn't have one in the chamber, and you're that much further away from doing it while you're just getting slashed. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But, like, we tried it. You know what I mean? We're at my house. It's like, all right, run at me and I'll try and, pretend like I'm drawing a gun. No way. No way. Well, as a person who doesn't practice very much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because the pressure, it's like you said earlier with the police and everything, without that pressure of time.
Yeah.
And that, I still use that example as a pressure of time, your time of that person coming to you.
Sure.
You're gonna
pressure is pressure.
You're going to just hesitate, and there shouldn't be any hesitation.
Right.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
How'd you get into building guns? Was that because you started the competition? You're like, I want to be able to make my own guns cool.
I'd always worked on them myself, almost out of necessity. Because it's kind of something that everybody kind of deals with if you get into shooting, or at least before you had optics on guns. And you say, wanted to replace your sights, you ask around, or you become part of the shooting community, and people say, well, like, don't go use the gunsmith at this place or any place, because they'll just
beat up your gun.
Beat up your gun. Maybe not destroy it, but you wouldn't. If you took your car to a place for an oil change and it came back with a bunch of dents in it, you'd be very unhappy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, right?
It's like, dang, what did you do?
Well, I changed the oil. Yeah.
That's my goal when I change the oil.
Yeah,
I have to get in there.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah. So I'd already been doing that, and then customizing them a little bit, making them more suitable for competition. And then I'd been working in healthcare for almost 20 years, and healthcare has really been in a decline, probably for 10 years, where when I started, it was kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm helping my fellow man, and this is great. And kind of everybody seemed like they were on the same board, but ultimately, like, as time went by, it was really just earning money. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing that we're doing is earning money. Like, in the grand scheme of things, the organization doesn't really, like, they want you to get better, but if you don't, or they kill you, that bed just got freed up for the next patient.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
It's so disturbing. Real, but it's so sick.
Yeah, it's profoundly distributing. And you get used to people dying all the time when you're in a hospital, which is...
That's another profoundly disturbing
weird
thing.
Yeah, like it doesn't bother me anymore. I'm like, I don't really feel that sad about people passing away or anything anymore, because it's just like, we used to have like 2,100 people per year die just in my building. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Right? Yeah, it's weird.
What a way to change your outlook on life.
Yeah, not for the better either. But like, it's permanent. Like, I can't turn it back around now. You know what I mean? It almost feels like more nihilist sometimes. But like, it is what it is. Just surrounded, and most of the time by people getting better, but sometimes just by death.
Right.
So in any case, I needed to exit it because my blood pressure was getting pretty high. You know what I mean? Your blood pressure can be extremely high before you're like a walking dead guy, but I was getting there, and my resting heart rate was getting real high. And so I quit, and I didn't really know what I was going to do other than not die. You know what I mean? And so I had no idea what I was going to do. Just thought like, well, I'll just get healthy. You know what I mean? And then, and I did. Like, I've got the vital signs of almost like an athlete now, which is great. You know what I mean? But I was like, I don't know how much anybody would know about blood pressure listening to this, but I was getting to where I was about maybe 160 over 110, which is pretty bad. It's not good. That by that point, you'd be on like medication, like daily routine medication. You know what I mean? And I knew that it wasn't like because of bad diet necessarily or anything. Just
purely stress.
Just purely stress.
That's so crazy.
Just getting harassed all the time. Once you become a leader in healthcare, it's like man, I don't know what you would want to call it. Not like an invitation, but like you just get harassed constantly. Just constant harassment all the time. All hours of the day, because the hospital doesn't have holidays. Hospital can never close and have a holiday, ever. It's open 24/7, 365. So you just get fucking harassed once you hit leadership.
Hospital, once it's open forever till it closes.
Open forever. Forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the one I was at was 110 years old. It had been open for 110 years.
That's
no
crazy.
days off. Yeah, right?
Wow.
Insane. So, then I thought, the market for the kind of gun called the 2011 is real hot right now and has been getting hot. And so the America's gun is the 1911. It's invented by John Moses Browning in 1910, but the military adopted it in 1911 on Valentine's Day, which is hilarious.
Interesting.
Right.
They love their guns, don't they?
Right. Yeah. It's very funny, right? It's funny because on Valentine's Day, gun people are always posting like, "Oh, it's 1911 Day,"
and their wives are like pissed off.
Yeah. Right. Right. It's hilarious. But in 1991, a couple of guys got together and figured out a way to redesign the bottom of it to where you could take a double stack magazine. So a 1911 is famously a very low capacity gun. You get about 8 rounds in a mag, and it's all single stack, real skinny mag. So these guys developed it to where you could put a double stack mag in. Kind of changed the parts on the lower end of the gun, but fundamentally the whole gun is still actually a 1911. Most of the parts are interchangeable, and or the exact same. And so in 2022, the market for these things just started exploding, and right now we're kind of like in a renaissance for this thing. So this gun was like, this style of gun is called the 2011, so it's the next, like 1911, 2011, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Is what they called it when it came out in the early 90s. But it was really by competition shooters for competition shooters. So the gun buying public had no idea that this even existed, right? For the first 30 years almost of its existence. And sales were really low and production was low and they were expensive. And, but some like boutique makers were really starting to get like a foothold in like the regular gun buying public. And so I'm watching all this happen and thinking like, oh, this is great, because it's like America's gun is going to blow up finally and maybe make some movement against Glocks, you know, or whatever. And it has. It's been great. It's still not particularly cheap, but not as expensive as they used to be. Even if you adjust for inflation, that's like, they're a great deal now, unless you buy like a high-end one. And so I thought, well, you know what? I know how the gun goes together and how to fit a lot of the parts, but I don't know how to like do the whole thing, right? And so I thought, well, I'll take a 1911 build class and learn how to build one, and I'll build and sell guns, right? I had a friend that used to do that a long time ago, who now he works on high-end air conditioning units. But he didn't pursue it, you know what I mean? He got into it for a while and didn't really enjoy it and got out. But I like it quite a bit. I like machining things. I've always liked cutting metal quite a bit, and used to have a job a long time ago where I did that. I had to make my own parts to re-engineer factory equipment and modify it, make it more efficient and better, safer, and stuff like that as a part of an engineering team. So I took this class. I was looking at classes. A lot of them were filled up, availability low, from a variety of people that you would want to take them from, and then found I could take a class from a guy named Bob Marvel, who turns out is a pioneering figure in terms of turning a 1911 into a competition-worthy gun in the 80s.
So he's a legend.
He is a legend.
That's awesome.
He is a legend, but doesn't like attention, so he's not
he doesn't.
as much of a legend as he should be.
Well, none of the greats do.
Right, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It's what makes them great.
Right, for sure. And so this guy had a class. He was still teaching, and he's in his 70s. He's got to be 78 now. And so, but it was 6 months out. I thought, oh, okay, I guess I'll
wait,
do whatever, just shoot guns and have a good time for the next 6 months. You know what I mean? I didn't need to work at that time. I was going to need to work eventually, but I was fine, right?
You could have a buffer.
Right, yeah, because I had no idea what I was going to do, so I needed to leave with a buffer, right? So I left with a buffer, and took the class and learned to some degree or another more and less than I thought I would learn. It was very interesting, and did the class, submitted paperwork to get what's called a FFL, Federal Firearms License. Mm-hmm. So I've got an 07 FFL. It's a manufacturer's license. And that came 3 months later. I started Gibson Custom Guns and just started building guns, selling guns.
How long have you been doing that now?
A year and a half.
Oh, so fairly new.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. What a fun career now.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah. Especially with what you do with competition shooting. It's basically networking every day.
Right. I go and shoot my own gun every time that I built.
What do you shoot now on the pistol? I know you have a bunch, but what was it that you like to shoot again?
Well, I shoot a 2011.
2011.
I was talking about, yeah.
And
it's a style of gun. The thing is, the company that owns, that's a copyrighted word, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like the way that the image of Mickey Mouse is copyrighted, or Disney or something like that.
Yeah.
So for marketing, you can't say that. So I couldn't advertise 2011s. But everybody knows what that means.
What do you call it?
I called it 2011.
Oh, okay.
But it's a double stack 1911. That's what I would have to put down if I bought an ad somewhere. It'd be Gibson Custom Guns 1911 DS or double stack 1911 or something.
Is that a 2011 whatever that you did for Lou?
Yeah.
The silver one?
Yeah.
It's a cool ass gun.
They're cool, yeah.
You can see, and you probably didn't see the video, but when we posted his podcast, I shoot that, and then you just see me cheesing on camera. He's like, it makes you smile every time, doesn't it? And I'm just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Because it fits nice, obviously.
Yeah.
But since you all had, I like to use the word souped it up or whatever, but it's just really enjoyable to shoot.
Yeah, it's a great gun.
Doesn't yank the wrist around, doesn't mess nothing up.
Yeah.
How cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. It's heavy though. His was an experiment in building the heaviest gun possible within reason.
And that's to keep it straight.
Yeah, so it doesn't recoil up as much. Yeah. It's great. It shoots real well. I just shot it again for the first time probably 6 months a few weeks ago, and it was stellar. It was absolutely
awesome.
stellar. Yeah, it was great.
What's it feel like to shoot it later after you made it?
Fantastic, actually. I mean, I watch him shoot it all the time. You know what I mean? It's a stellar gun. I only build guns that work real well, and that are super accurate. But after I built it, I had been shooting a similar style of gun, an all-steel gun, but not as heavy. Mine was about a half pound less, but still a heavy gun, 50 ounces, maybe 51 ounces. His is 58. When you start looking at gun weights and shit, a Glock weighs 26 ounces or something, or 24 unloaded or something. So
okay, I didn't know that.
His is almost 3 Glocks. You think about that, right?
Yeah,
it's got 3 guns worth of weight almost in one gun. So I was relaxing my hands while I was shooting this heavy gun, because the gun was doing so much work for me. And so what was happening is my shots were actually spreading out on the target. Like, I knew I could shoot tight doubles basically on any target, and like shooting slow, no problem at all. But when I was like ripping 2 shots, my shots were farther apart than they should be. And so what I did was I built myself a much lighter gun, which forces you to really grip and hang on to it like you have to. And so then I shot that style of gun for a year. I still am shooting that style of gun. I'm just shooting a different one now, because then I can build myself whatever I'm interested in shooting at the moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's an expensive thing to do. It costs me $3,000 every time, so I'm not doing it like all the time. But if I want to, I can just do it, you know?
Does that mean any production gun you get, you can take to someone like yourself and they can alter it to be a competition style?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Within reason.
Within reason, yeah.
Yeah, if parts are available and stuff like that. Sure.
Makes sense.
But so I hadn't shot Lou's gun in probably 6 months, and I shot it, and it was just killing it. It was fantastic. You know what I mean? Super cool. But it's because I'd been really working on my grip technique and strength in terms of hanging on to the gun, you know. Mm-hmm. So 6 months ago when I shot it last, I was still in the mode of like not squeezing the gun as much as I should, and it was moving around up and down. So my shot dispersion was like vertical. I didn't have any like horizontal dispersion, but vertical. Where instead of having it kind of like you want your grip to be like a circle and not like a string.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. When I had I guess he's not necessarily a shooting coach. It was basketball. That's what I used to do forever. He was just a pro player that liked me, and he was like, hey, we're going to fix your shot. And when we would shoot, he'd be like, short or long is fine. Nothing to the side. Yeah. Short and long means you're not either. If it's short, you're not using enough legs and extending. If it's long, you're throwing it. But if it's side to side, you're not staying true to what we're teaching you. So it's like funny that it translates.
Yeah.
Like side to side, no.
Right. Yeah.
Forward and back, okay. Dial it in.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So that was interesting though to realize that I fixed my grip, because I used to have, my friends used to make memes about me about talking about working on my grip, and I used to walk around with grip exercisers. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. The Captain's a Crush style thing, or the thing with the spring.
Yep.
I broke one. I used to walk around at work squeezing one, and I think I was sitting at my desk or something. And
that's when you graduate, when it breaks.
Yeah.
And you're like,
it's hilarious.
Can't fuck with me.
Yeah. Well, I did it kind of to an extreme. At a certain point, I injured my right hand, like with too much strain. You know what I mean? Like a repetitive motion. I don't know if it was that or just like tendon strain or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to mess something up in there.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's hilarious though. And so to go from that to like losing it because I'm shooting a gun that does all the work, you know what I mean? And having to get back to where I need to be with gripping strong and firm and tight.
I bet it's nice to get that range though for you. Shooting different guns, doing different competitions like you do.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, since you have hit a level of mastery where obviously I know in your eyes you're probably like, oh, I'm just getting started on this. There's other levels.
Sure.
But like to be able to slowly progress in multiple areas now that you have that really good foundation, I bet it's nice too.
It is. It's cool. Yeah, because I can pick up any gun and shoot it really well. Any gun.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
That's so cool.
It's great.
What's the furthest you think you've shot? Not competition style, but for fun. Or competition.
Well, with a rifle, 1,000 yards. But with a handgun, 200 yards.
200?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was a steal so you could get that instant gratification?
Yeah.
Because it's so much better.
Yeah. What I want to do, really, ultimately, is come across someone that has got good vision and good trigger control and give them one of my guns and see how far away they can shoot a really good group at. Like 200 yards on paper and see what it looks like.
Okay. I mean? So someone that's really good, just give them a really good gun.
Yeah, but the vision is super important. So, I think when you have your eyes checked and I tell you have 20/20 vision or whatever, that's like a something that sounds good. It's a good average or whatever, but people can have much better vision than that. You know what I mean? Like the best pilots might have like 10/8 vision or 5/6 vision or something where they can see something super sharply at 20 feet that you would have to be 5 or 6 feet away from to see it really well.
Makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like the range of vision in humans is a spectrum. And so that is part of it. Like someone with pilot vision that's good at shooting
Yeah, that would probably be
want to cross paths with that person. It would be amazing.
They're like, I shot that at 5 miles. So you're like, what?
Bob Marble was telling me he had someone that bought one of his guns that was like the military has got a variety of shooting sports that its participants can participate in. And there was a guy, I don't know if he's like a bullseye shooter or what, but was able to shoot a 2-inch group at 200 yards with Bob's gun, a handgun, not a rifle, a handgun, right?
That's crazy.
Right. So it can be done.
Yeah, right.
And I took the class from the same guy. So I'm building the guns the same way.
So that's coming in the future.
I hope so.
Because you'll come across somebody that has those type of skills.
That would be, I would hope so.
Hopefully I can see good and you can make me a prodigy.
Right. Yeah, right? Why not? Yeah, it'd be hilarious.
I'm looking forward to Sunday.
Yeah.
Because it's always just fun to shoot guns, but like I told you earlier, with people that have that attention to detail, it's like getting fast tracked almost, to where it's like, hey, we're not wasting any rounds. Like everything is moving the needle forward instead of just like wasting time. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting range time with you. But
sure,
this was fun. I know you said you hadn't done a podcast before,
right?
But this was awesome.
No,
and obviously you have so much value to give.
Sure.
The door is always open for you if you've got something going on in the business or just want to come on and talk again, because I could ask you questions for days.
Sure.
But I appreciate the connection from Lou to make this happen, but you being willing to share the space. Like, I'm always super appreciative.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have anything else that I maybe left out, we can wrap up, but I just want to make sure you were good to go.
No, not necessarily. I mean, if everybody wants to buy a gun, GibsonCustomGuns.com.
There we go. And then on Instagram, they can follow you at the same?
Yeah, Gibson Custom Guns on all the media.
Awesome.
For sure. Yeah, I put pictures up there on a semi-regular basis of machining the guns and shooting them, stuff like that. Pretty cool.
I'd love for people to check you out. But like I said, the door's always open, so we'll have to do it again.
Yeah, for sure, bud.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Yeah, same to you.
Cool.